Okay, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, Rashida Strober here, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. Good morning. This is a impromptu live, so I'm gonna try to give people a chance to realize that I'm here and then get started. But real quickly, I just want to let everybody know I've been missing in action due to I just had back surgery. Um, a few days ago, and I'm currently in recovery. So, um, those of y'all, my mama would call them prayer warriors. Keep me in your prayers for a speedy recovery. So, because right now, Lord have mercy, I have a lot of pain in my back, obviously from the surgery, but the medication I really don't like to take it during the daytime because it makes me very sleepy, and I don't want to be sleeping all day. So sometimes I just deal with the pain. But anyway, those of you that believe in a higher power, please keep me in your prayers. Um, so for those of you that don't know, and those of you that do know, because sometimes you have to reintroduce yourself. My name is Rashida Strober. I'm the reason anybody on YouTube talks about colorism. I'm the reason anybody on reality TV talks about colorism. I started it all first. And no matter how many people come on here trying to berate me and downgrade me for speaking the truth about how people have ripped off and stolen from my ideas, I'm going to say the same thing over and over again. I refuse to allow anybody to stop me from speaking the truth about the exploitation that has happened to me on YouTube. People, black women, yes, black people have stolen from my intellectual property and ideas. All these people you see talking about colorism now in 2021, they are all riding Rashida Strober's coattail, whether they realize it or not, because they got the idea to talk about colorism from somebody that heard 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 Rashida Strober talk about it first. And I'm upset about the usurpation and the use of my intellectual property because people have not been honest and told the truth. These black women know they didn't start talking about dark skin and colorism. They didn't want to do it. They were afraid of it. The only reason why they began talking about it is because back in 2015, when I spoke about Kendrick Lamar, and again, which I have been speaking on this topic before anybody starting in 98, when these people saw that I started to get a lot of attention for it, they wanted the attention for themselves, they wanted the views, and they wanted to monetize, and they hated me, and they mocked me, and they talked negatively about me, but all of them copied me. This is a fact. All you got to do is do your research. Any person on YouTube talking about colorism right now stole from me. That's a fact. You're not the originator. And another thing I need to clear up because I have ignorant people coming onto my channel that either they're ignorant by choice or they're ignorant because they don't know. I coined the phrase dark skin activist. Let me repeat that. I coined the phrase dark skin activist. Dark skin activist is my brand name. No one else can use the phrase dark skin activist. Dark skin activist is the name I gave myself. It's mine, just like McDonald's or Nike or any other branded name that someone created out of their head. It's no different. I coined dark skin activist. And if I see anybody using my dark skin activist name online, you're infringing upon my intellectual property, which I am registered with the trademark office, the United States Trademark Office, and I will take legal action against you because dark skin activist is my brand name. That is a fact. I've already had to take someone to court, which I actually won for copyright infringement. And guess what? I will not hesitate to take another person on social media to court again because you don't have a legal right to use my name, my branded name, dark skin activist. So we're going to get that real clear because I'm tired of people being disrespectful. The only time people straighten up is when you file a lawsuit against them. Then you begin to understand you can't just do XYZ. You can't just come on YouTube and infringe on a person's property. That's the only time people understand is through a lawsuit. So I'm just letting people know, if you infringe by using my trademark name, Dark Skin Activist, I will take legal action, which I am within my rights to do, because Dark Skin Activist is the name that I created and that I own the trademark to. In 1998, I started the first platform in history to fight to get rid of colorism and what I call darkism. Also, I need to make it clear that I created and coined the word darkism. Rashida Strober created and coined the word darkism. Let me repeat that, because people just act like they don't understand or they don't hear. Rashida Strober, myself, coined/created the word darkism. No one else coined that word. Alice Walker coined the word colorism. Rashida Strober coined the word darkism. Nobody on YouTube, nobody on social media, no celebrity. Rashida Strober coined the word darkism. Darkism is also the name of my book. My book is called Darkism: 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. I also have other books. I have How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. That's the first motivational book for dark-skinned females. I also wrote Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment. And I also wrote the book A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. I've written more books on dark skin than anyone in the world. And the platform that I created, called Dark Skin Activism, I started that in 1998 before anybody, any Black woman decided that they wanted to come on a YouTube or social media and talk about dark skin. I created this movement first. Everyone that's speaking about it, they got it from me. They're just not being honest and acknowledging it, but it came from me. So from 98 up until 2010, I was doing dark skin activism on a grassroots level in the community. And dark skin activism consists of me going around the country speaking about darkism, doing darkism talks, also performing my play, which is a one-woman play called A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. And then I do an audience talk back, and I've been doing this for years before any celebrity started talking about colorism. Again, I want y'all to understand, all these people have stolen from me. If you look at the history of this, you will see that I've been doing this the longest and first. Other people started to get in on it when they finally saw the value in it that I created. Okay. 2010, I brought the first colorism channel to YouTube. 2015, I went viral for calling out Kendrick Lamar's darkism. And that is when Black women and Black people started stealing from me. After I went viral, because the post reached millions of people around the world. And I had people started to steal my videos. I had people go to my website and download copies of my book and steal from that. So people have just been stealing and taking from me. To this very day, they continue to do it. But none of these people are original. You are listening to the person that started it all. Every Black woman you see, brown skinned woman that's uttering anything about dark skin or colorism or skin tone, they got it from Rashida Strober. They got the idea to talk about it online from me, Rashida Strober. All facts. All right, so there's the background. Now, if you want to support financially the work that I do, you've learned something from me, you've read one of my books, whatever the case may be, you can go to my Cash App, which is $Rashidalala. Once again, $Rashidalala. And I'm going to put that on the screen so you can see it. Or you can go to my my GoFundMe. Let me put that in here. I'm going to put the link in the chat, but you can also find the link to the GoFundMe by looking in the description to any one of my videos on YouTube. My short-term goal for my GoFundMe is to reach $11,000. My long-term goal is to reach 1 million. So I'm going to put the GoFundMe link inside of the chat box. Please make sure you go ahead and make a donation. Um, and I'm going to put the my PayPal, which is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. Once again, icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. You can also go there and make a donation. So please make sure that you support. So that's the backdrop to why I speak about dark skin and why I speak about issues involving colorism, because I'm the originator of the entire lane and I started it first. This is what I've been doing for years, so it's nothing new. So now that leads me into, I want to start talking about this swirling couple that was responsible or is responsible in the murder of an 8-year-old autistic boy. And the details, y'all, the details are extremely gruesome. And I wasn't gonna come on YouTube and talk because I'm not feeling good, but this one right here, this situation really touched my soul. And someone also sent me an email. Shout out to the person that sent me an email about this. And so I wanted to come on here and I wanted to just talk a little bit about this. And, my thing is this: dark-skinned people, we get blamed for everything bad that happens in the Black community. There's this movement, which I don't agree with, and which some people have called themselves adding to dark skin activism, because I've had, people approach me about the issue of swirling as it relates to dark skin activism, which dark skin activism has never been about swirling. If anybody has actually studied dark skin activism and listened to what I've said, you would know that I've always had the mission and objective regarding dark skin activism. It's always been to bring the Black man back to the dark skinned Black woman. I've never, ever, ever promote, and I'm in the minority because I'm not a follower. There's a lot of people online, they follow other people because maybe the person has a big audience or maybe it's popular. I don't do that. You can't get me to follow you and jump on a trend if it's something that I don't believe that's in my heart to do. And I thank God that my mom didn't raise a follower. It's so many followers out here. They just want to be a part of the in crowd. They want to be popular. One thing about me, I pride myself on, I've never been that way. I use my own brain and my thoughts to critically think about what is the right thing to do. And so over the years, I've had people approach me because to them, they think one of the solutions to end darkism or colorism is swirling. And I've point blank let them know that that's counter to what dark skin activism is all about. And I'm never going to promote swirling because swirling, in fact, contributes to darkism. Swirling is not a solution. Swirling is genocidal, in fact. It doesn't make any sense. But on another note, you got this gender war where Black men and women have been fighting on YouTube with each other for years. And I've been one of the few Black women that have stood up consistently. Because I don't backtrack and I don't backpedal to kiss nobody's ass. You're never going to get that from me. I told you I use my own brain to think for myself. I don't care how popular somebody is or how popping or trending. I don't give a damn about that. I'm going off of my beliefs and my principles. Now, if you bring me some information that makes sense, that's ethical and logical and truthful to make me change my position, then fine. But that hasn't happened. And so the problem is there's been this gender war going on YouTube between Black men and Black women, where Black men have attacked Black women and vice versa. And this whole swirling thing, some people have espoused swirling as a solution to the black male female so-called gender war. Okay. And in doing such, black men, a lot of black men have been demonized, and black men have also, a lot of them have demonized black females as well. I mean, I'm being fair and balanced here because I'm just speaking about what is going on. Okay. I'm giving you the truth of what people are saying and how people are feeling, and the notions that they're putting out on YouTube. So in the aftermath of this gender war, this whole swirling thing, it has been used as or as put forth as a solution. And I'm saying to you clearly that it's not a solution. Understand me. Swirling is not a solution. But in the process, like I said, all black men, there are some people that have demonized all black men and have said that, black men are bad, they're devils, they're evil, they're everything bad under the sun. And, we just don't need them. But here we have an example, because sometimes I think, let me just say this before I get into the swirling couple here, Gloria and Williams and Michael Coulter. Here we have an example where a black woman decided to go and date outside of her race. And we see that the grass was not greener on the other side, because I think that some of these swirlers would like us to believe that the grass is greener on the other side. That white men or non-black men are the antithesis of everything that black men are. Okay. Some would have us believe that non-black men are not violent, that non-black men are gentle with children, that non-black men are providers, that non-black men are the knight in shining armor that's going to come and save you and make your whole world better. That is the notion that a lot of these swirlers have espoused to vulnerable, gullible black women on YouTube, young, impressionable. And I'm telling y'all, you young women, y'all need to think for yourselves. Stop just listening to these people and following along with what they say. And that's for me too. You don't have to follow along with everything that I say. You don't have to, you can think critically for yourself. Understand that. And I'm talking to the young, black, dark skin, and all skin tones of black women, young black women. Think for yourself. Stop following along with these people online that you don't know what their everyday existence is like. You don't know what their life is like. They just coming online, talking, telling you what they feel. You don't know how they really living. So why do you need to? Because anybody can come online in front and tell you what you want to hear. But then behind closed doors, it ain't all good. So you need to think for yourself. That is the most important thing that my mom and dad taught me. And that's why people have a problem with the dark-skinned activists, because these bitches know you can't run me and my thinking. I don't play that with people. I'm going to think for myself. I'll listen to information. I'll listen to all sides of the story. But at the end of the day, I'm going to come to my own conclusion based on my own intellectual thoughts, processes. And I would encourage you to do the same. Evaluate. Evaluate arguments. Evaluate arguments. Evaluate statements. Evaluate premises. Don't just take what someone is saying to you as fact. Some of these swirlers would have black women believe that all black men are bad. that all Black men are woman beaters, pedophiles, criminals. And that we know, if you think logically, if you use constructive criticism, you know that that is not the truth. You know fundamentally that that's not true. We can't lump all Black men or all Black women in one category. It makes no sense. But if you're weak-minded and you're following some of these people, they would have you believe that. You'd leave thinking, oh, okay, so I need to just be done with Black men. And then you end up in a situation like Gloria Williams, whose non-Black boyfriend, Michael Coulter, murdered her Black child. Hence, the grass is not greener on the lighter side. I said, the grass is not greener on the lighter side. You with me? Some of these swirlers want to paint these non-Black men as being saviors, as being the best thing that has ever happened to them, as being non-violent, as being kind, as being providers. Well, here's an example of a swirling couple, Gloria Williams and Michael Coulter. Gloria Williams, a Black woman, and Michael Coulter, a non-Black man. Explain to me why the grass wasn't greener on this side. Explain that. And in all fairness, because I'm not gonna be unfair and unbalanced like some of these swirlers are. I can't sit here and base one non-Black man's action and generalize that to a whole group of people. That makes no sense. I can't sit here and say all non-Black men are violent and will do the things that Michael Coulter did. I can't say that because it's nonsensical. It doesn't even make any sense. But on the flip side of that, the swirlers will have you believe that all Black men are in fact violent. All. They don't look at it and say, well, okay, well, this is just this one person doing this. This is not reflective of what the majority of Black men do and how the majority of Black men behave. They will espouse this notion that all, you including everybody. But what about the Michael Coulters of the world? What about the Michael Coulters of the world? I'm going to go to one of the articles here, and you guys can look up this story yourself because it's been all over the news. And I'm going to just, for those of you that don't know about this case, I'm going to read you what happened here with Gloria Williams' 8-year-old boy as it relates to Michael Coulter, who murdered him. And this is a non-Black man that murdered him. And I'm reading from ABC 13 Eyewitness News website. The caption reads, brothers describe 8-year-old boy's beating death in their family home in new court details. Investigators believe the 8-year-old was beaten to death by Brian Coulter. And I'm sorry, I gotta go and change the name. His name is Brian Coulter. So I apologize for that, Brian Coulter. Anyway, investigators believe the 8-year-old was beaten to death by Brian Coulter sometime between November 20th and November 29th of 2020. New details were provided Wednesday about the horrific case of an 8-year-old boy beaten to death and his 3 brothers abandoned with his remains for nearly a year in West Harris County. The supervisor, and I believe West Harris County is in Houston. The supervisor of the homicide unit tasked with the investigation, Sergeant Dennis Wolford, described it as one of the more difficult cases he has worked. Quote, "This one is up there. This one affected us," Wolf said. Brian Coulter, charged with the 8-year-old boy's murder, did not appear in court Wednesday morning when a judge read his charges. He is being evaluated at a mental health unit. And see, that's another thing. The non-Black people are always in situations like this. They're more likely than Black people to be given the benefit of the doubt in terms of having some type of mental problem in terms of why they committed the crime that they committed. But that's bullshit. Okay. I hope that this man, Brian Coulter, is not able to use the insanity defense to get off on this, because you murdered this 8-year-old in cold blood. It is what it is. So all this insanity bullshit, don't try to ride that defense. I pray to God that this man is not able to use the insanity defense. Let me keep reading. The judge set the 31-year-old's bond at $1 million. At $1 million. The judge also ordered him not to have contact with any minors, specifically the minor witness in the case, and no contact with the boy's mother, Gloria Williams. Williams, 35, is charged with injury to a child by omission and tampering with evidence, a human corpse. A judge set Williams' bond at $900,000 and $350,000 for injury to a child, $300,000 for tampering with evidence, and $250,000 for injury by omission. Like Coulter, Williams is ordered to have no contact with her children or any other minors and no contact with Coulter. Both could face more charges, Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said. Coulter and Williams were arrested Tuesday evening at a public library where they were searching news articles about themselves. ABC 13 learned. Isn't that something? ABC 13 was there as the couple was brought into the sheriff's office Tuesday. Neither responded to questions. On Monday, they were interviewed and released. At a press conference Wednesday, Wolford acknowledged the frustration the public had when the couple was originally released after questioning. From the very beginning, we were focused on getting those charges done, he said. We wanted to get them done as quickly as possible. He noted that a lot of evidence must be processed before charges can be filed. As for the children found in the apartment, Gonzalez said it appeared some of them have different fathers. Investigators believe one father is deceased and the other is not in the picture and has no contact with his kids. Wolford described the boys as special needs children, noting that early information indicates that at least 2 of the boys have autism. Officials also noted that it appears Williams has 2 other children who were not present in the apartment. It was not immediately clear how old the children are or who has custody of them. According to investigators, Williams' 15-year-old son called 911 to report he and his 2 younger brothers, aged 9 and 7, had been living alone in an apartment at City Park 2 at West Oaks on Greencrest with the body of a 3rd brother who had been dead for a year. Deputies found the 8-year-old's skeletal remains in the apartment. Earlier Tuesday, the medical examiner ruled the 8-year-old's manner of death as homicide caused by multiple blunt force injuries. Investigators believe Coulter, that's Brian Coulter, beat the boy to death, and then he and Williams moved out, leaving the children to fend for themselves as their brother's body decomposed. I got to stop right there because I got to make a point. But these swirlers will have you believe that things like this only happen with Black men. Swirlers will have you believe that the grass is greener and that non-Black men are going to protect you, are going to provide for you, are going to take care of you. And here we have a clear-cut case that shows that the grass is not greener on the other side. You're not going to necessarily get a man that's better than a Black man if you decide to swirl. This is a clear, I don't know how much more clear this example can be. You know, and my thing is this: if you want to go swirl, that's your business. But one of the things that these swirlers do, they don't just go and swirl. They demonize the men that they just decided, I don't want nothing else to do with it. Okay? They demonize those men. They don't just go and swirl and be happy and go about their business. They demonize a whole race of men. And that right there, you can't do that. Again, this case clearly shows that not all non-Black men are good people, are good providers, are moral, are ethical. This is a clear-cut case. I'm going to take this link and I'm going to drop this link in the chat. You guys can go and read the article, or you can go to YouTube and you will be able to find more information on what happened with this Brian Coulter, a non-Black man who is responsible for the death of an 8-year-old autistic child. The child was not his. The child belonged to a Black man. I don't know who the boy's father is. May he rest in peace. But one of the major things that I take from this is that the grass isn't greener on the other side. It doesn't mean that just because you jump the fence that you're going to get better, that you're going to do better. And this is why it's important not to just walk away, the Black man and the Black woman to not walk away from each other, to not expect that another race is going to be better, that another race is going to do you better. Because it's not going to happen. Swirling is not a solution. It's not a viable long-term solution. And you're not going to necessarily always get better. And that's my problem, because they will have you believe that you're going to be happy. You know, your life is just going to be a bed of roses and sunshine. And in this case, we see that that's not the truth. Explain this one. The swirling community is going to have to explain this one. The swirling community is going to have to be put on trial for this one, because again, they're going around espousing these notions that non-Black men are the best thing since sliced bread and they can do no wrong. And this case proves that that is not the truth. So I need somebody to explain this to me. Explain this to me. May this little boy rest in peace. And I pray that the other children are loved and cared for and taken care of, and that they have found a good home. You know, I just have them in my prayers. The 15-year-old, you know, I could only imagine what it was like to have to live in this type of environment, knowing what happened to his little brother. So my prayers definitely go out to this family, to the children. And I want to thank y'all for taking the time to listen to my commentary on this, because I really wanted to come on here and talk. I'm going to get on up off of here. You guys can go to my website, darkskinactivist.com. Once again, darkskinactivist.com. and you can download a free ebook copy of my book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. You can also go to my Cash App and make a donation. My Cash App is $ Rashida Lala. Once again, $ Rashida Lala. And my PayPal is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. Once again, icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. You can find the Cash App, the PayPal, and the GoFundMe in the description to any of my videos on my YouTube channel. And you can also look in the comment section and you can find the Cash App, the PayPal, and the GoFundMe. You can also find my Cash App and my PayPal if you go to my website, darkskinactivist.com. Once again, darkskinactivist.com. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys share the video, and make sure you make a contribution. And y'all have a wonderful, fantastic rest of the day.